Well, welcome to the BNI Effect, the podcast dedicated to helping Brisbane BNI members and business professionals achieve success through effective networking strategies. I'm Tony Meredith, and ordinarily I'm a business coach, but today I'm your host and fellow BNI member, bringing you insightful interviews, expert advice, and actionable tips to elevate your networking game and grow your business. This episode is number 6, and today's guest is Andrew Scott. Andrew, hello.
Hey, Tony, how you going?
I'm doing great. How are you going?
Yeah, really well, mate. Yeah.
That's good. Well, firstly, thank you for being here. Now, you're a fellow BNI member, and we'll get to that in a moment, but just give me a little bit of an overview as to who you are and what your business is.
Excellent. Yeah, so I'm Andrew Scott, owner and operator of True Power Realty. So we run a residential real estate business. In BNI, we currently hold the residential real estate seat. However, when I started out the business, and also in BNI, we started out as a property management dedicated agency.
Okay, and how long have you been in business for, Andrew?
So the brand is officially 8 years old this year. It's been a full-time enterprise for about the last 4 years.
Okay, fantastic. And so prior to that, you were doing it, what, in a part-time capacity? Is that right?
Yeah, Tony, I had a couple of projects in the go, and I was involved with a large corporate organisation as well. So we started the business out as a part-time enterprise with the view that it would grow into a full-time enterprise. That was always the dream, and here we are.
Fantastic. And so you mentioned that you started off in the property management space. Do you still offer those services today?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, my real estate world goes back probably 30 years, and I started out with my father, and one of the things he told me or taught me was, if you build a great rent roll for your business, it's the thing that'll just keep the lights on, pay the wages, and keep the business ticking over. So it's one thing I've never forgotten, and that's how we started out.
Great advice from Dad, hey?
Yes, yeah, God bless him.
And what areas do you cover, Andrew?
Yeah, so we're Brisbane wide. We do sort of venture northern Gold Coast, southern Sunshine Coast a little bit. As we know, in BNI, it's a referral driven world. So yeah, we do get some referrals that take us a little bit outside, Brisbane, but we're across Brisbane, CBD, Moreton, Councils, Logan, Ipswich. For Brisbane locals, North Lakes to Springfield, out to Western Ipswich, and to the Bayside around Wynnum and Manly and those sort of places as well. So yeah, we've got a pretty good reach.
You've got a very big reach by the sound of things. How many have you got in your team, Andrew?
I've now got 3, or 4, I should say. I shouldn't forget my lovely wife, Jodie. So she keeps the world ticking in the Scott family, and also my schedule. So yeah, she's amazing, helping keeping us organised. And then I've got Jacinta, who runs all of our admin. So she's in the engine room. Probably knows more about some of our software and systems than I do these days. And Tracy joined us in December, who predominantly does a lot of our rental inspections.
Excellent. Now, you said that you've been in a full-time capacity for the last 4 years. So how and when were you introduced to BNI, and what made you make that decision to join BNI?
Yeah, so I'm in my 3rd year, so it'll be 3 years in September. And look, I saw a Facebook post really, and the wonderful Lockie McDonald, who was a founding, he got the chapter up and going, and I was fortunate enough to be a founding member as well. And he basically put a post out that resonated with me, and I wish I had kept a screenshot of that post to this day. And I just went along. I just messaged him on Facebook, said, yeah, I'd be interested. And our business was, all of about 10 clients at that point, and we knew we needed to get to about 70 or 80 to get off 2-minute noodles and onto something else. So, yeah, and I just went along to the meeting, and then the second meeting, and there was lots of things that resonated with me, and I joined up.
Good on you. Now, you mentioned a Facebook post and you wish you had have kept it, but can you remember roughly, Andrew, what it said and what it was that prompted you to inquire?
Yeah, well, Lockie was trying to get a chapter off the ground, and essentially it just talked about he'd listed several categories. Property management was one of those, and they were looking for businesses to work with. It was along those lines, and businesses that wanted to grow. I think there was something in there along the lines of the exclusivity, or wanting the best in the category, or something along those lines. And I'm a bit competitive, so as soon as I read something like they wanted the best in the category, I'm like, well, that's me. So
I love it.
There might be
good on you.
Yeah, so I went along. I didn't know what I was getting myself into or anything about it, and I was ready to join up. Second meeting, I think I put my application in. Yeah.
Good on you. And you mentioned exclusivity. So for those who aren't aware of BNI, what does that actually mean, Andrew?
So at that time, I was joining as the property manager. So I would be the only property manager able to join in the chapter. A couple of years in, I switched to the residential sales seat. So it just means that no other residential real estate salesperson can join the chapter. So as far as building the relationships within my group, as long as I do a good job of that and build a lot of trust, then I've got exclusive access to all of their wonderful referrals.
And what was it that prompted you to switch from property management to real estate sales?
We had a great real estate guy in our chapter who sadly moved on to other things. So he left the group. And I'd been spruiking our property management business for a while, did really well. It took about 3 or 4 months to decide, to be honest. I was umming and ahhing, and I just felt it would round out the communication for my business within the chapter, and open up some new opportunities, because Len, who was in the group, he was really well liked, and I just thought there might be a few referrals available in that sort of business for myself. But also we were picking up more and more sales listings, so I felt for the group I might be able to offer new opportunities to members that I hadn't been referring to through the property management side of our business. So I just thought for a two-way street, there might be some opportunities for all of us.
And now that you've made that decision, was it the right decision, Andrew?
Yeah, it's been great. So I've got one we've just listed now in Red Hill, which was through the group. Got one coming up in Stafford, and those opportunities are going to bring in pest control and things like that, which in property management you get a little bit, but in that property preparation side of it, I can bring the handyman in a lot more stronger and the pest control a lot more stronger. They'll need smoke alarms and all sorts of things, so there'll be a lot more opportunities in the group through those listings. So it's been great.
And so what you're talking about there is the opportunity for referrals. So then just explain that. So you've got the listing there at Red Hill, and you talk about bringing in others. What does that mean?
So, in the sales world, for example, a buyer might come along. They might need a conveyancer. They might need to manage the paperwork of the sale, or the seller might need a conveyancer, which is an opportunity I wasn't offering in property management as much. The mortgage broker, same sort of thing. In property management, people are sort of settled. You get a few opportunities, but during the sale, that brings the broker in. So I'm thinking I'll be able to offer referrals to a broader scope of people within our chapter through the sales side of it. Yeah.
Look, is there one more piece of wisdom or advice that you can share with the listeners, regardless of if they're in BNI or not? What would that be, Andrew?
I'd say be patient as well. So, this give us gain thing that you'll hear lots about, it does work, but sometimes it takes a bit of patience. And also, with building relationships, there's some people who do it really quickly. Other people might take a little bit more time to build those relationships. So, in addition to embracing the system, I'd just say be patient, because on the other side, other people who you're wanting to build those relationships with, it might take them a little bit of time to build that trust with you too. So it might be 6 months, it might be 12 months, but that referral you're waiting for is just around the corner, I've always found. Yeah.
And that goes back to the point you were saying earlier, that follow the system and trust the process. And different people have success at different times along that pendulum. But it's a case of follow the system. There's a great system, great lot of resources that BNI provides all the members. And providing that you're doing the things that you should consistently and persistently, then you will have be able to unlock phenomenal success for yourself.
100%. Like, just quickly, that sale I was talking about in Red Hill that's just coming up, like that was a discussion that goes back to July last year, and it's just come to fruition now. So yeah, just sometimes you've just got to be consistent in your approach and patient, and good things will come.
Excellent. In wrapping up, how can listeners learn more about you and your business? Where can they get in touch with you, Andrew?
Yeah, so we are True Power Realty. The best real estate agent you've never heard of. I should add that as a tagline. But yeah, we are True Power Realty, and yeah, we are at www.truepowerrealty.com.au. Feel free to give me a call on 0490 813 609.
Well, the listeners and viewers will have heard of you now well and truly, Andrew. So excellent. Mate, thank you. Really appreciate you sharing a bit about your business, about you, and also your journey in BNI. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Tony, and thanks for doing this, mate. It's really great.
My absolute pleasure. Well, that wraps up another episode of the BNI Effect. We hope that you've enjoyed today's discussion, and I want to extend a massive big thank you to Andrew Scott for sharing his insights with us. If you found value in today's episode, then don't forget to subscribe to the BNI Effect on your favourite podcast platform and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more listeners like you. So until next time, keep networking, keep growing, and remember, your success is our priority here at the BNI Effect. Thanks for listening.